This is DawgNation's coverage of the NFL Draft, presented by Kroger. Now, here's our insiders, Mike Griffith and Connor Riley.
Hello, everyone, and welcome into another episode of Dogs in the Draft. My name is Connor Riley. I'm joined today by Mike Griffith, and we're going to talk about quite literally Georgia's biggest draft prospect in probably quite some time, offensive tackle Amarius Mims. This guy is as raw and as talented as any player that has come to the University of Georgia. Mike, they've had a lot of success at offensive tackle in recent years. What is an NFL team potentially getting in Amarius Mims?
Man, just an incredibly high ceiling, Connor. I mean, you mentioned, I think the guys only started 7 or 8 games. The snap count is not that high for a first-round prospect because of injuries and playing behind a guy like Warren McClendon, a veteran in the last couple of years. But look, man, 6'8", 340, you just don't coach it. 16% body fat, and you talk with Amarius, he's engaging, he's got that big smile, he's got a joy for the game. And when a guy loves football, like Amarius Mims loves football, I think you can count on a long, prosperous career. I think team looks at him and says, you know what, you bring him in as a right tackle. This is a guy that with some coaching, more opportunities to get some skill sets polished up. Maybe he ends up at left tackle. But from a size, strength, and speed standpoint, remember, Connor, he told us he ran like a 5.07 40. Said he was disappointed he didn't crack 5.0. So you like Amarius Mims, you like the size, you like the attitude, you like the hustle, you like the toughness. I really felt Georgia missed Amarius Mims in the second half of that SEC title game against Alabama. I think that could have been a difference.
Absolutely, and he spoke about that when we talked to reporters at the NFL Combine. I think Amarius Mims, despite all the questions about lack of snaps and lack of playing time, look at the guys that have come off the assembly line at Georgia. Roderick Jones had a lot of similar questions this time last year about lack of starts, and he went in, was a star right away for the Pittsburgh Steelers at right tackle. I think Mims can potentially do the same thing moving forward. He's got, I think, the ability to play both left and right tackle, and as you mentioned, Mike, just a rare one-of-one athlete there. As far as where Mims might possibly go in the draft, I don't think he's going to be one of the first offensive tackles taken in this year's class. It's a very deep group, but I still expect him to hear his name called on the first night of the NFL draft. I think teams in the 20s are definitely going to be interested in looking at him. I think the Pittsburgh Steelers at pick 20 make a lot of sense there. The Bengals at pick 18 could be the high end for Amarius Mims. You know, Philadelphia has a need at right tackle with Lane Johnson getting up there in age. We know the Eagles love their Georgia Bulldogs, so I wouldn't be surprised to see Mims come off the board there at pick 24, I believe. And then you have a team like, say, the Dallas Cowboys and the Green Bay Packers, who are both looking for offensive line help there as well. Amarius Mims, despite some of the questions about him, is still going to be a first-round pick. And I bet sooner rather than later, he's going to make an NFL team very, very happy. So he's Mike Griffith. I'm Connor Riley. We're talking about Amarius Mims for today's episode of Dogs in the Draft.